supposed to be funny? Like, I went in there and I did it and people started laughing, so I still don't entirely understand.
Can I just say, I was there that day that Eric was filming that, because I think I might have been in that episode, I'm not sure.
You were.
Well,
you
no,
were on
there.
Annie Kim's team.
That's right.
Annie Kim, is that her name?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But
I didn't want to say that. It sounded vaguely racist.
There's nothing vague about it.
But the people on set that day, crew, cast, everybody, when Eric was doing that, Ken Jeong, I mean, everybody was just like, they were dying. Like, I'm surprised it even ended up, you know, working out without it being like, you know, laughter over it.
Oh, they cut a lot of it. I was ad-libbing like a minute and a half at a time.
People were like
ringing the bell. Sinkholes, natural disasters, North Korea, the Prime Minister in exile. Perfect after that day of shooting, is what I'm saying. The bell is sharp.
The show is known for some of these really big, memorable episodes, and I wanted to ask about paintball, which I believe I know Eric was there for the first one, but a lot of you were there for the second one. So I'm just curious, like Marcy, what was it like being around for the paintball insanity?
Oh, I kept talking to my husband. I was like, I'm getting paid to play paintball. It's crazy, and they keep asking me to come back. And I mean, we were there the whole week out there shooting it in different ways, and I think they must have had it could have been a 2-hour episode, right? A lot of stuff got cut, but it was insanely fun. And you got shot, right? Like, really got shot?
Oh, yeah, that's
not by a gun, but like,
yeah, by the second season they weren't using guns anymore.
Because we were using like blanks, you know, it was all fake, and then they were just adding.
They were real, I mean, they
well,
were
some,
paintballs, but it was
right?
like something like a wax ball or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And they put a piece of cardboard right here because they were going to shoot me right here.
Right.
And they were like, well, we're not going to cover you here or there because we're not going to shoot you there. The stunt guy's not going to shoot you there. And I was like,
he missed.
Okay, great. So I have this piece of cardboard and I'm like running and I have to like whatever. And the guy shoots me, and where does he shoot me?
The boob.
Right here and right there. Yeah. Black and blue in both places. Sorry. It really was.
A lot of people had welts. I remember Joel had a huge welt on his chest from where he gets killed, you know, right in the center of his chest, because I think that was what?
I'm just like, they were using, like, I'm glad in the second season they just stuck me in the vent and first season, like, literally 20 to 25 times before the take. It was like, we need to get paint on you. Let's just shoot him. Yeah, 20 times point blank. And then we were doing it for like almost all the takes, and at the end they were like, you know what? I think it would work better if we shot him on camera, like at the end of his last speech. And they come back and the last take, which is the one I use, they get me right in the collarbone. It's like, that screams real. I mean, it was very painful.
You're suffering for your art here.
Leonard wasn't shooting it. They had a guy.
And I remember getting a little bit too into it. So when Joe was like, because when we run across the field, and then I got behind like this table with Joel, and I slide into my spot first, and I'm like really into it. I'm like running. I'm like a baseball player sliding in my spot, being all commando or something. And he's like, no, you're not Joel in this episode. You're Kendra with the cute ears. Is like you're not finessing your way into your hiding spot or so. We were getting a little too into it. It was so fun.
Oh, well, that was Vicky. That was her thing.
Yeah.
Getting a little too into it.
Oh, yeah.
That what I was supposed to.
Yeah.
Briscoe, were you there for the second paintball?
I was working on Glee that
Gaining intel for Community. Let me ask about the Law and Order episode, which is another one that a lot of you. I'm curious. obviously, you know, you knew what they were sort of going for, the parody. Did they really want everyone to sort of deliver lines a little differently then? Like, how much did they talk to you about stylistically how they were approaching that episode?
Megan showed me on her iPad just a clip of Law and Order, of like a really old, angry lady filing things, and just said, do it exactly like that. Okay, easy.
Yeah, I really was trying to play up the drama of it, you know. Like, I remember that part where she was like, I was on the stand and she was like, please, Todd, come clean, you know, like. And like the first take, I like started welling up with tears. It was like, so sorry. And like, I was like, I think that was the best acting I've ever done. Like, I felt that. Like, I thought I was in a real episode of Law and Order. Like, I was this close, like, to have my first real actor tear. And then you do it again like 20 times, and it gets like a little more phony as it goes on.
It loses its luster.
It loses its luster, but...
Did they ever blow the menthol crystals in your eyes?
No.
I had to cry so much for D&D that I just couldn't do it. Like I was drinking water, my body was just completely out. So Sari would come, our makeup matron, would come in with this little tube and blow menthol crystals into my eyes.
You cheater. I almost had a real one.
I had a real one for the first day.
Really?
But then I had to squeeze it like a sponge. I had to squeeze my
accomplishment.
body.
I think female actresses can cry more easily than men. Is that?
I don't think that's true. I think Natalie Portman's using those menthol crystals.
Because maybe. I just think women are more in touch with their emotions.
Also, just to bring back to the Law and Order episode really quick, when we had read the scene, they did not. There was a line that it wasn't in the script, I don't think. They changed it later. So when Charlie and I are having our close-up or whatever, he's going, "No, you zip it, Uncle Nubby!" And like,
I had never heard that.
I never heard it, I didn't know it was coming, I didn't see the script. So I was like and it happened like a lot of times. Like I actually got in trouble. They were like, "Danielle, stop laughing."
We were really weird that day, I feel like. We got in trouble for laughing a lot.
We did.
When I stand up and say I did it for love and I just want to have sex in my parents' cabin, there was a bit that Ken came over and handcuffed me. It was like about to take me out. But we're dumb and we're actors and we don't think about anything other than how cool it's gonna look. And he actually handcuffed me. And we didn't have keys. So you walk into a thing like that, and I love being a part of it, but I'm one of the smaller guys, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, everybody is standing around while I'm handcuffed to Ken Jeong. And we cannot figure this out.
Also, that episode had so much fog. Do you remember that? Like, yeah, because you know, those lost shows and wanted to look sort of old and dusty all the time, and it was like that was kind of murder, actually.
Was that another cool one though for Charlie, Danielle, and David to see that script and how your three characters were so crucial in that final act?
It was amazing.
Yeah, that was you know, it was exciting. It was special. You know, it was like, oh my god, the whole thing. That's crazy.
I sold Jeff a hot dog.
You were beautiful.
You were a visually good.
And Briscoe, I'm curious, you know, because people hear the term stand-in, and I don't know if they quite, you know what you're doing all day. It's very community to me to think about sort of the alternate reality version of these 7 characters. You know, do you guys have a fun time all day? You know, sort of hanging out and being there with the cast.
Oh yeah, the cast are really nice. They treat us really well. I moved up from being a guest star stand-in, and I guess Donald Stanley went into another show, and I moved into his spot for season 4. I got a good education on the show. I learned a lot, but the cast is really cool. Even Chevy, I love Chevy. He was nice to me. I mean, you have to be nice to Black Hitler. We get to do what they do before when they go off to get their makeup and hair and stuff done. We get to stand in their spot and lighting for lighting purposes and blocking and stuff like that. The very first day I did standing for Donald, they threw me in that fountain from the episode the other day, and that was, a lot for me. I was like, I can do it, but I have a little OCD, so kind of. But it's all good. I love working on this show. I really hope it comes back because it's a lot of fun. Maybe I can audition for something. So.
Very encouraging ratings this past week. Then.
Yeah, and we have JP Manu over there, Fake Moby. And Fake Team Pelton, I guess. And the pizza guy from Remedial Chaos Theory.
I helped you move your car earlier, didn't I? That's right. I helped it direction out.
Can I point out, I think that's more applause than real Moby has gotten for at least a few years.
What a perfectly timed Moby burn. Fuck that guy, you're right.
Starting a war on it. Twitter war. Another episode a few of you worked on I wanted to ask about was the Blankets and Pillows one, because again, stylistically so different. What was it like for you, the production-wise, the fact that it was going to be so many still photographs, voiceover, Real Neil, Voice of Steel?
Yeah. I have literally never been more sick than the day we did, the day that I did Pillows and Blankets, because I was in Mexico the night before on a vacation, and they called me back, but I had gotten sick. I drank the water, friends. So I have literally never felt so bad, and I got there and I had to fly back the night before, and when I got there I finally got to read it, and I read it about which scenes I was going to be in, and I was like, oh my god, I had to stand around and get hit in the face with pillows all day. No. Before I get to do Real Neil with Pipes of Steel, and that was awesome. It's been fun to do Neil because he started out so sad and such a bummer, but it's been awesome to see him grow and do that kind of stuff, and working at the radio station now, got a girlfriend, so it's cool. It's fun to come back and have little story pieces and character arcs, and you're moving the story forward, but there's a nice little nugget to play every now and then. It's great.
Eric, do you have any strong memories of the Blankets and the Pillows one?
I remember that actually most of my scenes got cut out. If you have the DVDs, check them out. They're pretty good. I just remember they shot it so quickly because the previous episode was so, it was like an 80-hour week, like the first half. Pillows and Blankets was the second one, right? The documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, the first digital exploration of interior design was like, I had a 17-hour day on Friday that day, and all of the days were pretty much that long. So it was nice to have something that was so much still photos. I mean, the one thing I remember is that during one of the big pillow fight scenes, I knocked a lens attachment off one of the cameras, and I felt very nervous, like they were going to be like, okay, you're out. And I was prepared to argue, listen, this is what Garrett does.
The show, obviously a very meta show. We mentioned how Todd's first episode was somewhat reflecting that we're focusing on these 7 people. There's a whole school here. I remember Vicky had a great line about, for one, she thought it wasn't going to be about them. Do you guys ever imagine what's going on with the whole other lives of your characters when we're not, following them, and what could be happening for them behind the scenes?
I actually have thought about that. I don't know. I think that in my world, in my brain, that Vicky's the ringleader of that other group. I feel like she's very controlling, and she's whatever. Because I remember there was a scene that what made me think that was that I think it was the second episode of the paintball when she says to Britta, "You're the worst." That was I feel like she's trying to really fit in, and that if she had her own group, she'd definitely be the ringleader of it. So.
I'm sorry.
Go for it.
I just the one thing I've kind of figured out about Garrett is like, I kind of think him as like a well-meaning Wile E. Coyote. Where it's like he gets into these situations and awful things happen and he seemingly has no way of predicting them. Like he's just like, wow, I was so excited about this and now it's terrible. That pattern over and over again.
I forgot to ask you, Marcy, when we were talking about the Law and Order episode, your big moment was Starburns. Do you think she should have gone for it?
After he got blown up, I was a little regretful. I was kind of mean to him. A little bit. Just a little.
We hear a lot, the writers mentioned there are late nights, but, the cast are tweeting about how it's, 3 in the morning and they're getting loopy. What do you guys have, sort of things that stand out for you about being there late at night and how strange things can get?
My first episode, it was like 12:30 at night, and we were still filming.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I don't know if I should.
Same story.
And I walked out of my dressing room and everyone's acting real weird and sitting down and like nothing's happening and I'm like, what is happening? It's like, and then I start hearing, should I come?
Yes, you should.
And Chevy Chase he had a problem with the episode.
At 12:30.
At 12:30 at night, we've been shooting
Friday.
it was late, and we still had a lot more to do. And he brings it up right then, and that's what the director was like. He was like, Chevy, you've had the script for a long time, and you're just now telling me that you have a problem with it. But he was like, why are we being so mean to this guy? He's nice, and we're all being shit. And you know who looks like the biggest shit of them all? Me!
And then he stormed off. And then I was sitting with some of the cast, and I was sitting across from Joel, and I go, so, now what? And Joel goes, now we wait 15 minutes and we shoot the scene! As written, because we're not going to change it now. But anyway, yeah.
When you go late, there's a horrible time in between the 12 hours that you were supposed to do, and then in between there's that, and then when it becomes fun again at 4 o'clock in the morning. But there's like 6 hours in between there where it's like doing time. Horrible.
You really should just bring the Hunger Games, I'm telling you. And this was before people had heard about the Hunger Games. I was on that.
We're going to go to audience questions shortly, so think about what you want to ask them. But I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you guys if you can give us any hints about things we might see with your characters this season popping up.
No.
I don't know.
Sorry. I'm in a couple episodes. I'll say that.
I played Donald's hands in an episode.
Neil takes a gym class. Neil takes a gym class and he comes out of his shell even more than usual.
I'm also in that gym class in another capacity.
I'm in that gym class in the same capacity as Vicky.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the gym class in the same capacity as you.
Oh, yes, we are.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember.
They was gonna maybe do a number of episodes. This probably happens to you guys too, where they're like, "Yeah, we're on a veil for tomorrow," and then they don't call. I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm not going in." But I am in one episode, and the big hint is Jeff gives a speech. It's a really important one. He's standing up, and we're all sitting down, kind of like you guys are.
You mentioned that unfortunately that you had a dance scene that was cut from the premiere, but I am curious.
Very unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate.
For you.
Tweeting about. Well, what was it like being there for Joel and Jim's dance number?
That was the maybe single greatest day of watching something happen on set.
I was focused on on my steps.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening at all.
Oh, really?
No, I don't remember any of that. I was trying to dance.
Oh.
What were you doing?
I
And now you wonder why we got cut out. It's all revealed.
They were incredible. You know, that was really hard. That was hard. But when they got it and they were doing it together, it was so funny. It was pretty fantastic. Yeah.
Eric, I think you were going to say something?
Oh, this is a kind of an unrelated anecdote. I'm very sorry, but it's also dance related. The Top and Locktoberfest.
I hope this has
episode.
nothing to do with it.
Like, I was on the team that won, and according to the script, Starburns was supposed to be dancing in the final scene. But as we start shooting, Dino Stamatopoulos leans over to me and says, "Hey, I'm gonna tag out to you at some point during the shot." And I'm like, "Okay, more stage time for me." He tags out to me during the first take, the first scene, like the first shot of the. And then what I didn't realize is we're going to be filming this for 6 to 8 hours, and I'm gonna have to be breakdancing through all of it. If you can call what I did breakdancing. So it was a good movie, you know.
I finally started to add things, and it's ruined my whole life. It's become so bad. In the history 101 episode, when Jeff hands me his glasses,
Oh God.
I put them on because I thought it would be funny and whatever, and we ended up having to shoot that so many times. And almost immediately when it was filmed, I was like, oh shit. I'm gonna have to have these on for the whole thing. I've added like a crucial piece of story that nobody asked me to. And I spent the next 3 days figuring out like, how do I ditch these fucking glasses without anybody noticing? So now I have them and then I don't have them and then I have them again. It was the worst day of my life.
The worst
Trying to be
when
funny.
The worst when you have to eat on camera.
That's all.
Like I did a student film where I basically had to eat an entire box of cookies, and it was right after lunch, and nobody told me I was eating any cookies.
That's a first world problem, my friend.
Tell us about how many cookies you had.
I asked you guys kind of the late night specific question, but is there any other sort of story that jumps out to you as far as just something funny that happened while you were filming or just on set in the middle of something?
The Pillows and Blankets episode, the background, it was like, they used us a lot in that episode, and a lot of the people got a little crazy late at night, and a lot of people got hit with zippers with the pillows and stuff like that.
I got whacked
We had
with
feathers and stuff in places we shouldn't have feathers. Yeah, that lasted a while. But...
You mean like up your butt?
In my area.
See, you gotta wear the one piece, I think. So nothing gets in there.
The episode of the Christmas episode, you know, where they're all doing the song, and Taran Killam was in that. I always mess up his name with the M and the N.
Here we go.
Taran Killam was in that episode. He did that little speech at the end there. That was also one of the best days to be on set because he did it 45 different ways. Is it on the DVDs? All the outtakes of him doing that? Oh man, that sucks. That was really, really funny. He's so talented and so hysterical. And that was a good day for me, at least. I don't know.
Well, let's start doing some audience
It
questions
was
here.
fun to watch.
Let's see, do we have someone with a mic? At the
I
ready?
hate cookies.
Up. There you go. Let's pick her over here. You get to go first. Is it on?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
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 This is a safe place.
Charlie,
Yes.
this is a really nerdy question. Have you played Dungeons and Dragons before your role? If you were inspired to after, and if you know what Duquesne's class and alignment is.
Those first two are really easy, and that second one is you get a sharp left into being very complicated. I had played D&D before. I had a buddy in college who was completely obsessed with it and wanted me to play and made all the character sheets and did all that kind of stuff. He was our dungeon master. I was an ogre named Affleck. I'm a big Ben Affleck fan, on a side note, and I just want to say, I'm glad I came back around. I stuck with him. But I haven't played since then.
You can play.
But let's get a game. Sweet, thank you for the
I
invitation.
just want to say that episode made me fall in love with and watch Community. And
That's me.
it's my favorite.
That's amazing. Thank you.
We have our next audience question. Raise your hand. There's a gentleman in the back. Let's get you.
I'm
over
regretting
there.
talking so much about Affleck.
Yeah, so right there. Okay. We hear you.
It's that goatee.
This is for Eric. I know on your Facebook page you were wondering if you were going to be able to, if you were going to wear your actual wedding ring on the show. This had it as a mystery subplot. Can you tease if that's going to be a thing that's happening?
No, I chickened out. I figured, this is probably going to get me more work if I manage to do it, but it could also get me fired. Or maybe nobody will notice either way.
Or wedding ring.
Actually, a story about my plan was to get engaged to my wife on March 12th, 2011, which was the first anniversary of when we started dating. And Danielle actually drove me to the FedEx store to pick up the ring. And we were planning to go on vacation in San Diego for a weekend, and I was going to ask her there. And that was the week we got a 6-day week on the last paintball episode. So I had to propose to her in the parking lot of a restaurant in Hollywood. It was romantic.
That's better. That's good.
She said no for 5 minutes in disbelief, and I'm like, I know what you're doing here, but it's really making me nervous. Please just try saying something else. No.
Next audience question. See, we got a gentleman right over here.
Test, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Drop a beat.
Allison Brie could not be here today.
Well, anyway, my main question was, I'm actually glad that all 7 of you, including JP right here, it's because I've always had like this random thing, like in the back of my mind, before I started crying earlier during the trivia question. And I always kind of saw like U6 as like part of the alternate like Greendale 7 as well. And JP could obviously be, a doppelganger. And I was just wondering, like, if you guys could include like one more extra to like be a part of your alternate 7, who would it be?
Oh my God.
Leonard. Leonard to be the new Pierce.
You can't forget magnitude.
I'm not going to give too much away, but I get to do that at one point this season.
Right here.
Right over here.
I guess for all of you, if you could be one of the study group members, which one would you be?
Jeff. That says so much about me, I think.
Yeah, I would want to be Jeff too.
Who's always texting?
I feel like Abed would be the least of a stretch for me. It's,
Yeah.
That's it.
I think I'd make a good Donald Glover.
You stole mine. can't pick the same as you. I would say probably Annie. Annie's good. Yeah.
I'd for sure be Shirley.
Next audience question. Anyone? I see someone in the back corner there. Yep. So you get you a mic right there.
Hi guys, thanks
Hi.
so much for coming, first of all. So if you could have your character do anything in the show, what would it be?
Be Jeff.
I would make out with Jeff.
And I would be Jeff. What would we have them do? I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to keep going back and not know what you're gonna get to do. We get to do a lot. I get to run and jump like an action movie star in paintball. That was exhausting.
Your character's had a couple different on-campus jobs. He's like switched up what he's done on campus. He's been a radio guy.
He's not a stable human.
Yeah.
He's working through some stuff. He can't hold down a job. His girlfriend's mean to him.
I'm not mean.
You're not mean.
Wouldn't it be cool if like Todd was actually like a murderer? It's like at the end of that movie where the guy like plays like he's like Primal Fear. Did you see that? And then it's like he turns and he's like, I'm smarter than you. It's all been a ploy, yeah. I kill everyone.
Eric, Marcy, Briscoe, what's Black Hitler up to? What would you like to see?
He'd be the
actually-
What's Black Hitler up to? Yes.
I think I've actually kind of thought about this because they do a lot of dancing in the show, and I'm actually a dancer. I started out as a dancer, so I'm always a little sad when there's dance numbers and I'm not a part of it. I'm like, you can dance. Please, I want to be like, do a big song and dance number of why I should be in the study group, and I'm like the star, and everyone's my backup dancers and stuff. I want that so bad.
For that matter, can we just do a thing where Garrett does stand up for an entire episode? and never mentioned again. I really need that credit. I'm not asking too much.
Black Hitler would just like to say something. That's about. No, I escaped from the dungeon and I got into the pillows and blankets and I'm still sleeping in that fort. So I just need some rest because John Goodman's a taskmaster. So.
He's dead now, so you can.
Oh, yes.
Okay, next audience question up, right over here.
Hi. I have a question for all of you. What is your favorite line that your character said, or in Briscoe's case, any moment on set? I know, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's harsh.
But yeah, any favorite moment that your character has had on screen, or your hands on screen.
Well, since I have no lines, my favorite time period was the Pillows and Blankets episode. I mean, I had so much fun, and my favorite moment is that close that I got. That's my favorite, But actually, I love every minute on that show. It's amazing. Everyone's great. So I know it sounds corny, but it's true.
I like the Law and Order episode. I think that one's my favorite. Getting to do the filing clerk and then doing it for love, baby.
I think my favorite line is, I can't go back out there, this is the only life I That was, regardless of the fact that I said it, I thought when I read that, I was like, that is so genius. That line. It's so funny.
David, Marcy.
I like, I was gonna do it. I like the this speech that when I tell everybody off.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Like, expecting an answer.
Oh gosh, I guess it is probably either I love footballs, or the last of Law and Order, and the explanation is not the issue. That one, because it was more emphatic.
I believe there was someone who's going to ask a question.
Can I ask a question? What is
there you
this?
go. Looks like an umbrella. An umbrella? A small
It's
umbrella?
just a felt cardboard thing.
For a boom mic? Is it
Who made this? Why is it near me?
It's for real deal with pipes of steel.
Yeah, girl. Ooh, girl.
Here you go.
For Danielle, I was just wondering, in the second Cable episode, how long were you dancing on the street?
A while. In the episode, I'm assuming she's probably been up there for a good 10 hours. No, I don't know. But like, the scene itself took a really long time. It was like,
I still love the stage direction they gave us for that.
what was it?
So dance like this is Twin Peaks.
Oh.
And I hadn't seen that episode of Twin Peaks at the time, but I saw it later, and I think I got it pretty right.
Yeah. When I saw that in the script, it says Vicky's dancing on a table. I was so confused because it was just the most confusing thing, and I went over to, who was directing that episode? Joe. I went over to Joe Russo, and I was like, hey, when you have a second, can I just ask you about this? And he was like, yeah, what's up? I was like, what kind of dancing on the table are we talking about? I'm like, is she like going for it? Like it was
the Charleston.
Yeah, I was like, what's happening? And he was like, no, you're just kind of like doing that lackluster, like, you just, well, in the beginning it was like more upbeat, but then when it comes back in, it's just kind of like, you've been up there for so long. So, yeah.
All right, next question. Anyone? Oh, I see someone raising their hand right there.
Under the first Chang dynasty, who do you think your character would have sided with? The Greendale 7 or Chang?
Who would we decide with?
Wait a minute, were none of us in that episode?
I don't think any of us were in that episode.
Yeah, we were in that episode.
Probably the 7.
Yeah.
I think the Greendale 7. I think we got
I feel like Garrett probably has some sympathy for Chang because Chang saved him from crazy burnt doll Britta. I remember for the first few takes she was kicking the back of my chair and I was like, I don't like that. I understand this is the scene, but I don't like that.
I think Vicky would want to side with the Greendale 7 because she's such a wannabe. She wants to be one of them very, very badly. So, yeah.
A lot of us are, aren't we? I don't want to get in there.
Yeah, we do.
Last couple of questions, guys. Let's see. We
Now
got
that you mention it, why weren't we in that episode?
we got right here. You have a question? Yeah. Oh, we got a mic right there.
Hi, for
Stand up.
Eric and for Charlie, can you guys describe the moments when you found out, like, for Eric, when your character was described as if God spilled a person?
Oh, I knew Garrett by then. I was under no illusions. Just a lie.
When you found out more and more to your character that your character was going to be Fat Neil and that you were a D&D nerd, because that's all you had going for yourself at that time.
That's all I've had going on for me since that time.
You're right next to her,
That was, there's Dan Harmon.
I can't imagine that's how anyone else walked into a room. Sorry.
Dan, this is our time. If you could kindly step back into the hall.
backstage.
That guy played my voice.
Oh yeah, that's right. But no, well, just to answer that D&D question, that has been really important to me. It's one of those things that you get a part like Fat Neil, and he's going to be called that. It's such a thing. It's such a hard part of that episode. And we shot it for 5 days, long days, and Chevy just going for it. I think he's amazing in that episode. I think it's really, really good. But you know, around day 3, you start to be like, good God, like how much more of this can I do? But what's so fantastic about it is that Neil takes it back at the end. The best part about it is when he looks at Jeff and says, why would you do that? Why would you say something like that about somebody? And I think a lot of times characters and actors who are different looking or not normal or whatever don't get that opportunity to say, why would you say that about me? Why would you say this about anybody? So yeah, and that's what's been amazing about playing. That's the thing that's working. And I love it. And when I talk to people, and I love who is Fat Neil. That is great. That's God, he's good looking.
Last question. We have one last question in the green right there.
Don't mess this up.
Will we ever save Garrett?
Did you want this back? Yeah, you can. There you go.
Well, guys, thank you guys.
We're just going to take a short break before we have Dan Harmon and a microphone at 3:30, so don't go too far and go to the bathroom, buy some art, do whatever, and see you in about 20 minutes. Woo!
Thank you guys so much.
I know. Are you here? That was for you guys. Who are you talking to?
Absolutely.
The world?
Yeah. Oh my God, this is awesome.
I know, right? I'm crying. Where is he? I'm crying. I love you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Me too. Yes, absolutely.
I'm wondering if I can plug in my phone.
Look out.
Well, I'm sure she gets